Hey everyone, this is Mike,
Hey, and this is Josh.
and we are Real Dead, and
Yes.
we got a really good, I think, review of a movie. Josh, what is the name of this movie here?
Well, it's a movie that you might have overlooked, I feel like. This is an underrated, overlooked movie, I would think. I mean, maybe not in the horror community, but in the wider audience, I think it was. I mean, because it wasn't on my radar, and I consider myself a horror fan. Um, so this movie's called Hell House LLC. And I did watch the director's cut, so it is a little different, but that was the one that I watched. Mike actually watched the regular version. Is that right? Is that correct, Mike?
Yeah, so let me give you a quick background, and again, we'll make this quick. But I recently subscribed to Shudder, and I was going through the Shudder horror movies, and I saw the Hell House, the newest version. There's four of them out. The newest one is kind of a prequel to the first three, but I got so hooked on watching number four, I went back that weekend and watched the first three. So I watched all four of them in one weekend. But how I found out about it was Shudder, and Shudder had a really high scoring of like they do like five skulls, skulls. It got five skulls, so that's kind of how I found out about it. The newest one, but then I went back and watched the original as well, which um, I watched the regular cut last night. I watched the director's cut, and there is a big difference in the two. There's about 30 minutes difference. Um, I would personally ask everybody to watch the regular cut first, then go back and watch the director's cut. Unfortunately, Josh, I think, watched the director's cut first, so he may have a
Yep.
little bit of a different perspective on it than what I may have.
So, yeah, I just watched the director's cut because that's what I had available to me on Tubi. I didn't see the other one, but maybe it was on there. I don't know. But I watched the director's cut. I really enjoyed it. Me and my wife both watched it. Though towards the end, I will say my wife was like, "I'm having a hard time staying awake." She did say that, so I don't know if it was just she was real tired, but I didn't. I thought it was good, but I do think the director's cut does drag on a bit towards the end. I do think
I
that,
agree.
but I do enjoy it. The movie. It is the director's cut was 2 hours and 9 minutes, but I would say like 30 minutes of it is like extras, so I didn't even watch that. So it is a found footage film, which I did like that about it for sure. I enjoyed that. Um, and let's talk about the Rotten Tomato score real quick, Mike, before we dive into this head first. So critics gave it a 75. I think that's pretty high, and I think that's a good rating. The audience is slightly lower with a 71, Mike. So
Yeah, pretty close to 75, 71. That's it's not 20 points off like we've seen on some.
right, that's right.
Um,
So do you want to break down like what the main focus of this movie is, Mike? Like what it's kind
Yeah,
of
we're just
about?
going to give you a synopsis of it. I mean, so again, spoiler alert here. This is one of those that I think you still go see. But the breakdown of it is there's four or five friends, boyfriend and girlfriend on one couple. They've been looking for a haunted house. They've been running a haunted house up in New York area,
Yep.
and they get together. They find this old. It's an old uh, hotel, I think is basically what it was, from many, many years ago. So they go in here and they're going to turn it into a haunted attraction right at Halloween. So the movie starts out like 30, 40 days in advance, them going into this house, really creepy house, older house, hotel. They're trying to fix it up. They got to fix the electricity. And then some, freaky, crazy stuff starts happening in the house. Then some of the people that in the town come that are going to help them be part of this attraction, and they start telling some backstories. And you can tell right off the bat, the main guy, and he's got his girlfriend there too, he knows that something bad's happened in his house before, and he didn't want to tell the rest of them. So
Right.
things start happening in the house. I will say this: very creepy character of a black and white suited clown.
Yes.
Different than Art the Clown, but very creepy in himself with a
Oh
black and
yeah.
white suit on. This thing is supposed to be a mannequin and only looks straight forward. I'm going to give you a teaser here. There's parts where all of a sudden he just pops up from the basement. His head's turned one way it's not supposed to. He's got blood on his face. He didn't have blood on his face at the beginning. I watched this with my wife and son that's probably the most scared I've seen my son. He started throwing stuff in the house because it's not like jumping out in you scary, but it's
Right.
just things are happening behind the scenes.
It's
Like
different.
it'd be like somebody walking behind me right now while we're doing a show, and if you got to pay attention. It's nothing you can't be looking at your phone and
Right.
goofing around on the iPad
Right.
while you're watching this movie. You got to pay attention, and there's a lot of hidden gems in this movie.
Yeah, no doubt. I like I said, it wasn't blatant just jump scare after jump scare like there is in The Conjuring and Insidious and all these crap movies. It's like it's actual genuine scares, and like the budget of this movie wasn't that much, and it's genuine scares, man. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite found footage movie because Blair Witch does exist, and it was the kind of the first, and I still hold it at the top for me, Blair Witch. But this got to be 2 or 3 for me on found footage. I mean, it's really good. Yeah, it's just like a team of friends trying to make a haunted house in this area, and then the it's not a house, it's like a old hotel, and they live there, and just stuff just starts to happen, and it's a slow build. Believe me, it's a little slow in the beginning, no doubt, but it does build. I mean, it does have a lot of terrifying moments in it, and they kind of give you a teaser at the beginning of the movie of like there was a YouTube video and it was uploaded, and this is all we kind of know what happened, but it doesn't give away a lot. But what I like about it is they show that clip, and that clip is the end of the movie, and so you're starting to piece things together from that clip, and you're like, whoa, okay, I remember that's when that guy ran by, or no, that's where that girl went when you saw her in the YouTube clip. You know what I mean? They break that down later to actually show you what happened in the hotel. And also, I don't know if like we're talking spoilers, of course, but the guy that owned this hotel before ran a cult in this establishment. So this is all part of it. And yeah, man, it was generally it was a creepy movie in my opinion. Watch it with the lights off, and man, it's good. They do a lot of really good things in this movie, Mike. I can't say really enough about it. I mean, it's really good. I do have some bad things to say, but we'll get to that. So, Mike, what are some of the really good things you like about this movie?
I like the story. I like the story build on it, kind of like what you were saying. It is a slow burn at the beginning, building the story up, but it's needed information for you to gather for later on.
Yep.
So without that information, you wouldn't know what's going on. The YouTube video at the beginning, kind of showing you the end.
It's like a mock docu-series.
Yeah.
Which is, it's kind of like it's like someone like making one of these shows that they make on Netflix now or whatever, and showing old footage and different things. Like that's what it all is. And
so I will say this though, Josh, you watched the director's cut, and I did too. Like the very end of the director's cut, there's a girl that's in the basement chained up. In the original version, they don't show her. In this version, they show her like those demons and entities pulling her into a hell or wherever it is. It's called Hell House.
Right.
They don't show that in the original. So that's all in your head. You got to think something bad happened.
Right. Okay.
That's something a little different. I will say too, in my opinion, I know we're talking about this one, Hell House #1, and hopefully we'll do the other ones down the road. I started out, like I said earlier, watching 4. You can watch 4 by itself, and to me, 4 is a little better than this one. 2 and 3, you have to watch #1 to watch 2 and 3. But I think 4 can be a standalone because it's actually a prequel to 1, 2, and 3. So you can just watch that, then go back and watch 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
I think the acting, some of them were good, some of them was very suspect. I mean, this is a low budget movie. What do you expect?
Yeah. No, I wrote acting's just okay, and I thought some of it was strong. I said some of the dialogue was just, I don't know, not great in my opinion. I also said, like this is the big question that I had through my head this whole time. Why are you still staying here? Leave. like one guy saw it all happen and he still was there. And then he was even doubting the girl next day. He goes, oh, I don't know why she's acting like this. Dude, you saw her standing against the wall at freaking like 3 a.m. in pitch black, and then you saw entities after that, and you're questioning this? Like, you're an idiot, man. Like,
That was voted. I read on another article with, I think it was Collide magazine. They were saying that scene was the scariest in the whole movie. The scene where the guy was in his bedroom and he wakes up and he looks and he sees the girl sitting up against the wall. That was pretty freaky.
Dude, that was absolutely creepy, yeah.
But there's another one, in my opinion, where there's two other ones that really stood out to me. There's a scene where they hear something in the middle of the night, all of them get in the hallway, and then they look down at the bottom of the stairs, and then there's that damn clown looking at them. That was pretty damn freaky. Another one was when they were in the back. I'm getting cold chills now talking about it.
It is quite creepy.
Another one is when they're in the basement and they're looking at, ins and outs. And all three of these clowns are sitting in the basement with their heads straight forward. The guy goes in, looks back out, and then all the heads are turned looking at him. Well, and they were not supposed to be able to be turned. So that was freaky as well. But there's a lot of good, like you said, jump scares that aren't just jumping at the camera. It's things happening in the back. Like, you may be watching a scene, and all of a sudden you see this black robed entity walk by.
Well, and also the one part where they were testing that strobe light, that was crazy.
Yeah. Josh, I think on the director's cut, and it's not in the original, when you get to the end of the movie, a couple of them commit suicide or kill themselves.
Yeah.
One guy kills a girl, and then all of a sudden you see, I think she falls down, and they drag her body's drug off. I don't think in the original you see that. You just see you see that she falls down. I don't think you see somebody drag her off. I think that's something a little bit in the director's cut that may be in there. I'll have to go back and watch the other. I was watching this again last night. My son walked in the room. He's 13. And my son was like, I want to watch that this weekend. And my wife was hooked on it again. So we're probably going to watch it again this weekend. Probably the original, not the director's cut. But it's a creepy movie.
Yeah, we can't say enough about it. So let's talk about this ending a little bit, Mike. You want to talk about this ending? So the ending, I'm just going to tell the ending that I saw. It's a little different, director's cut maybe, I don't know. But they're interviewing the one survivor from this. So there's one survivor, they're interviewing her. She's acting kind of weird to this whole interview. She ends up inviting the doc crew, the woman and the film guy, to this place.
She's also the one, Josh, it's real important that you say this right here. She's the one at the very beginning of it. She's part of the whole movie, but she's also the one that provides the found footage film to them.
Right.
She has a bag of the film of everything they filmed. She's at like with these interviewer people, this like TV station people.
Well, no, they're making the documentary.
Them the film at the beginning.
Right. Well, they're making the documentary, Mike. Right. These people. So they end up going to Hell House trying to find her. And she's there, and she like just gets up, turns around, and her face is just like beat to shreds. And all of a sudden, you see these entities in these robes, and then that's it, basically. So, I mean, basically, so she's like a possessed being. They also hint that too, that the people that die there stay there. Like once you're dead there, your soul or whatever, your entity remains in Hell House.
Yep.
Yeah. So
that follows through in the other movies too, Josh. Just a heads up on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen anything else. So that's what I got from it because they hinted at that, and I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, so the ending's good. I think it's a solid film. Mike, do you want to? I mean, to me, this didn't have memorable kills. Like it wasn't like that type of movie. That's not this type of movie. No. It's not like a guy going around killing people. That's not what kind of movie this is. To me, I don't really have a memorable kill because some people died off screen. You didn't know what happened to them. I would say there's really not memorable kills, but there's tons of memorable scares. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So what kind of a rating you got on this, Mike? What do you want to give it from, we'll say, how about we say, how many cloaked figures are you giving this movie, Mike?
Of course, we're going to say 5 is average, right?
No.
We're going to 10?
Yeah, I know. We don't do that anymore. Remember we used to say we're giving them how many chainsaws? But yeah, 1 through 10, and, 10 being 100. one being the worst. What are you giving it, Mike?
I'm going to give this one a pretty good score. It's not as good again as I feel like is the prequel the one that just recently came out. But for what it is and the amount of money spent on it and the scares in this movie, I'm going to give it a 7. I think it's about a 7 for me. I mean, it could be worse.
Yep.
If they showed more of the kills. I mean, it could be worse than being a better movie. But I find it a solid 7. This is one of those.
Yep.
Some people can't go back and watch this again. I saw like rewatchability. Some people say, "Nah, I don't know about it." I
Pretty
can.
low.
I like this.
Oh, I think it would be. I think I would agree. It's one of those movies that the rewatchability probably wouldn't be super high, because you already know all the scares. You already know what's going on. Now, the one thing I would say would be good for watchability is to keep a better eye on it and to see things in the background or see things maybe you missed.
What's going on?
That would be the best part of rewatching this movie. The scares probably wouldn't be the same. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 7.5, Mike. I'm going to go slightly higher than you because I did end up really enjoying this movie. And yeah, that's what I give it. And I say go out and watch this movie, man. That's the one recommendation I can say. Watch this movie yourself and have a really good time with it.
I say watch it, get scared, then jump to number 4 to watch the prequel, or watch the prequel first and then this one, and then you watch 2 and 3. 2 and 3 is it's got a cult following. People that are hooked to it, they keep watching it. It's kind of like the Blair Witch. You can't stop watching it, even when you're like bored with parts of it. You're like, I got to keep watching, see what's going to happen, what's going to walk behind me, or do something.
Me and Michelle definitely want to check out 2 and 3, and they're right on Tubi. Like I said, all these the first 3 are on Tubi, and that's a free streaming service. I totally recommend watching those while they're on there.
Yep. All right, everyone, please tell us what you think. Like, comment, subscribe to our channel, Real Dead. And also, I don't know if we'll give them a plug like they really need it because they got a couple million subscribers. After you watch this, go watch Dead Meat's little snippets in it. They give you some great information.
Excellent. Yep.
All right, have a good one, Josh.
Bye. Bye, guys.